Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host with the most doggy dogs, Avery LR32 here, and destroy the ever-living dog boo-boo stain. Ugh. Hope you picking that up with a plastic bag if you got a dog. As we climb even higher, the 1500 ladder. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, the dogs had to go for a donut run. It's time to put Ash Blossom away with a life sentence. This is the brand new K9 Archetype out of Justice Hunters. As always, I apologize about all the dog water ads on YG Organization. This website has honestly gotten really bad, I'm not going to lie. But this is the brand new K9 Archetype out of Justice Hunters as we get a advertisement for constipation. That's great. But this is the next side set after Crossover Breakers. So this is still a few months away. We're obviously going to have a brand new ban list by the time this comes out. Maybe the constipation Google ad that we just saw here is because that's what's going to be happening to people once they play against this K9 deck. The whole idea with this deck is that it's level 5 based, and that if the opponent activates a monster effect on the field or in the grave, you can special summon some of these guys. And one of the cards we have to talk about is, of course, a rank 5 Xyz called Paradise Smasher, where you basically roll a die, and since the opponent's obviously going to have the higher result because you can make one of the results 7 because of the effect of Smasher, then until the end of the next turn, the opponent can't activate any monster effects or declare attacks. So that's crazy. So let's just dive on into it. So this is K9 number 17 Izuna, level 5 Earth Warrior effect monster, 2100 attack, 1600 defense. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Again, notice it says the main phase, and it's a quickie, so the opponent could just activate, say, an Ice Rizal, and you can special summon this from your hand during the opponent's turn. If this card's normal special, you can send one K9 card from your deck to the grave, except Izuna. Izuna is a fox-like spirit, kept in a trap. Who cares? Next up here, we have number 6, K966A Yugioh. These names are insane. Level 5 Dark Aqua effect monster, 2000 attack, 1900 defense. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, which starting off the game, you have 5 cards, so you fulfill that condition, Sugar Boo Bear, you can normal summon this card without tributing. That's cute. You can reveal this card in one other level 5 monster in your hand, special summon both, but they cannot be used as material for the Xyz summon of a light monster, which who really cares? Also, because of the fact that these things are level 5, specifically the Izuna, level 5 Earth, you can 7th Tachyon into that card because there's a rank 5 Exceed called 106 Red Hand, which is the Chaos number version of Giant Hand, and it's actually a pretty good effect. So you can play Giant Hand in this, or 7th Tachyon in this deck. This is K9 number 66B Lantern, level 5 Dark Pyro effect monster, 2000 attack, 1900 defense. You can only use the second and third effect as this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, you can roll summon this card without tributing. That's hot. If this card is in your hand, you can target one non-Pyro level 5 K9 monster in your grave. Special summon it and this card, but they cannot be used as a material for the Xyz summon of a light monster. During your main phase, you can add one K9 spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So even though that we're only a few cards in, can we just appreciate like how good, like, even just this one card is? Like, Lantern and Izuna are really good, and I would even say that Yugioh is pretty good as well. Like, everything in here is just firing on all cylinders. This is K9, what I'm going to call 00 Lupus, level 5 Earth Beast Warrior effect monster, 2300 attack, 200 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Also, that artwork is badass. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or grave this turn, quick effect, you could special summon this card from your hand or grave, but banish it when it leaves the field. So again, if you're trying to hand trap this deck, you are just turning on effects. And it's going to be really interesting to see if that once Justice Hunters comes out in like the next few months or so, if we start seeing a lot less hand traps and we start seeing more board breakers. I mean, we already kind of see that right now in today's format, where some decks are playing like anywhere from 3 to 6 books, like 3 Book of a Moon, 3 Book of Eclipse, all that good jazz. During your opponent's turn, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Xyz summon using this card you control. This card's fucking broken. And an Xyz monster that has this card's material gains this effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, so you can't even detonator the thing. So this card is just busted on all levels. Being able to drop this out on a quick effect and then just be able to Xyz summon at any time, like, Every deck in the game wants that. Like, that's just insane. K9 number 17, Ripper, rank 5, Wind, Beast, Warrior, Exceeds effect monster, 23 on attack, 18 on defense, requires 2 level 5 monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card, add 1 K9 card from your deck to your hand. Then if your opponent activated a monster effect this turn, it's basically just triple tactic talents at that point. You can set 1 K9 quick play spell from your deck or grave. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard quick effect, you can detach a material from this card and negate that effect. This is, these cards are fucking broken. Like, I know I keep saying that, but, like, this will be tier 1 out of the gate. Especially if, like, for whatever reason, Fiendsmith cards don't get hit, then you can, like, just play Fiendsmith cards with this. Because none of this locks you, right? Like, besides the light exceed thing, which doesn't really matter because the Fiendsmith cards are rank 6. Yeah, these things don't lock you, other than, like, out of light exceeds, which, okay, you can't make this, but you're ranking up with this into the spells and traps anyway. Yeah, no. Oh my god, this is going to be nuts. This is K900 Hound, rank 5 light beast warrior exceeds effect monster, 2500 attack and defense, requires 2 level 5s, cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects that turn special summon. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, this card gains 500 attack when that effect resolves. So just activating 1 monster effect puts this thing at 3k. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can detach a material from this card, then target 1 card on the field and banish it. Notice it says the standby phase. So even though this isn't a quick effect, you can still use it kind of like a Time Thief Redoer, which is during each standby phase that rolls around, you're going to detach and banish a card on the field. This is K9X Werewolf, rank 9 light beast warrior exceeds effect monster. This is basically, I guess, like a rank up version of the Hound. 3,300 attack, 2,500 defense, requires 2 level 9s. You're not using 2 level 9s. Don't worry about that. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. While this card has a material, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, then activate this effect based on whose turn it is. Yours, banish a card your opponent controls and or 1 card from their grave. That's busted. Your opponent's, look at your opponent's hand, banish 1 card from it, face up until the end phase. This card is just incredible, you guys. And of course, you've got spells and traps that cheese them out. So yeah, like I said, don't worry about it. This is K9 LC Liberation, quick play spell. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target 1 K9 Exceeds monster or 1 rank 5 Exceeds monster you control. Special summon 1 K9 Exceeds monster with a different name from your extra deck by using that monster you control as material. This treated as an Exceed summon, transfer the materials. At the end of the battle phase, if your K9 monster battled this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. So the idea is here that you could make, like, say, the Hound, and then you can activate the quick play spell to target the Hound and rank it up into the Werewolf. And then since this is a quick play and you're doing it during the opponent's turn, you get a free hand rip. On top of that, you're probably making the Paradise Smasher on your first turn to lock them out of monster effects and attacking. So, like, you don't even have to worry about them breaking your fucking board. This thing's insane. This is K9 X-Force Liberation, quick play spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During the main phase, target 1 K9 Exceeds monster you control. Special summon a K9 Exceeds monster with a different name from your extra deck by using that monster you control as a material. Treat it as an Exceeds summon, transfer the materials. It's basically the same thing as the other quick play spell, but instead of it having to be a rank 5 Exceeds or a K9 Exceeds, it's just a K9 Exceeds. So you transfer the materials, then you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. That doesn't target. At the end of the battle phase, if your K9 monster battled this turn, you can set this card from your grave. The recursion is just insane. This is K9 EW Experimental Liberation. Normal trap, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Special summon 1 K9 monster from your hand or graveyard. Then you can special summon 1 K9 Exceeds monster from your extra deck by using the first monster's material. The second special summon is treated as an Exceeds summon, but destroy the second monster during the end phase of the next turn. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your grave, target 1 K9 quick play spell in your grave, and set it. That's honestly really good. This is a card that is getting a reprint. It's called Overlay Booster. The only thing you really need to know is that it's a free level 5 extender. That's all that matters. They're reprinting Volcasaurus, Chronomly Banama, and then Quinquiri Imperial Princess. I read this card right before I started recording it. It seems pretty good. Not sure I understand what this deck's trying to do. Just rank 5 spam, sure, but what's up with the spell traps, the weird locks too? Yeah, so I mean, there are other comments here, but I'm not going to go through every single one. So, but from what I've been seeing online, and as you can see, I've got a YouTube video here in the other tab. Basically, you go first. you can play like 15 hand traps. The build that I saw in this video here from Yugioh Tube, he was playing a Trickstar engine with instant fusion and ready fusion because Sea Monster of Theseus is a level 5 and it's a tuner, I believe, which is hilarious. But instead of a Trickstar engine, like you could make it a Fiendsmith engine. You could take out the instant fusion, ready fusion package, take out the Sea Monster of Theseus. You could play more hand traps. Yeah, like this. Again, we're going towards the trend of, well, we've been in the trend, but like every deck can play like 15 to 20 hand traps or so, and then you've got the engine here. But see, with this deck in the format, within like the next probably 4 or 5 months or so, you're not really going to want to hand trap this deck. And if you do, you get punished on the level of, okay, well, I just get these free special summonable bodies. Like, you talk about like an Ash Blossom not mattering. Like, let's say that they activate, I don't know, 7th Tachyon and you Ash them. Like, okay, like, you're still just going to special summon this. You're probably playing talents at that point. So, like, yeah, this seems really, really fucking insane. Like I said, the main card being Paradise Smasher. Both players roll a die, and if Paradise Smasher has an Xyz material, you can treat one of the rolls as a 7. So you just make it to where the opponent has the higher roll, and then they can't activate any monster effects or declare attacks until the end of the next turn. So you're essentially like, what, like Azathotting them at that point? Or I guess Rongo Bongo maybe at that point. But this is absolutely busted. Really, and since it's so generic, you could play this in any level 5 package. You could play this with Mech Knights. I don't know why you would, because Mech Knights are dog shit, but sure. And you really can't hand trap this deck, I feel like. This is like the first archetype that we've gotten, I would argue, that you just can't hand trap. Like, sure, you could droll them, but now you've activated a monster effect. So if they're playing talents, which most decks do, you're going to turn on their talents, and you're just going to turn on all of their abilities to, like, special summon and stuff. And, like, you just get so heavily punished to where, like, playing the droll doesn't matter. So I think that we're definitely going to see a return to board breakers once this comes out. Keep in mind, in Alliance Insight, we do get that new board breaker card called Gordian Schneider, which makes me think of the Liger Zero Schneider from Zoids. And if you're not a fan of Zoids, you need to go watch that because it's a really cool show. But we do get that Gordian Schneider card that can bounce cards back to the opponent's hand by banishing cards out of your hand, or like 6 cards from your extra deck. So we will at least have some way to combat this. But you can't combat the Paradise Smasher unless you open Imperm or Veiler or something. And even then, like, if people are on board breakers, you get punished with the Paradise Smasher. So I don't know. This is really busted. It's really, really good. Yeah, this is a perfect example, you guys, where I'm saying get the shit you need now so that you're not getting punched in the no-no zone when you don't have the money to pay for expensive cardboard. So if you see this video and you're like, hey, this is broke, I want to play it, go start buying all the generic level 5 support. Go start buying the rank 5 Xyz. Avery, it's $1. I'll wait. No, you ain't going to wait because it's going to be $10 when this stuff actually comes out. So don't complain about it later. Do your future self a favor. Get the stuff you want now if you want to play this deck. Guys, let me know what you think about all this and more down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.